Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review I Love My Dad. And this is a new comedy from writer, director, and star James Morosini, who plays Franklin, a depressed young man who tries to commit suicide, has an estranged father, Chuck, played by Patton Oswalt, who winds up meeting a young waitress named Becca, enamored by her, and thinks, he thinks, I have an idea on how to connect with my son. I'm going to make a fake profile of Becca here and catfish my own son, texting him, flirting with him, sexting him. And this film is quite the bold and out there concept. I do think that Morosini goes way too much into trying to shock the audience with all of this. And on some level, this is going to immediately alienate people right off the bat. I do think that Morosini doesn't show enough restraint with this. There's definitely moments where it's just like they're pushing the envelope too far, and like straight up having moments where it's just like we see father-son doing stuff and you're just like, okay, I don't get what the point of all this is. Because there is some potential here. Morosini uses an interesting storytelling device of when you have Franklin messaging Becca. You have the actress Claudia Sulewski who pops up and they're interacting with each other. When they're sexting, they're making out, they're touching each other. But then when you have the flip side and Chuck's freaking out, which Patton Oswalt gives a very unhinged, unnerved performance here that's really committed and engaging. But when he's having these anxiety attacks and imagining the worst and seeing himself doing things with his own son, I'm just like, was this necessary? And I feel like the lack of restraint here really brought this film down, because I feel like it just overwhelms all the positives about the film and just leaves you with this disgusting sour taste in your mouth. Because there are it deals with some heavy things like suicide and a father trying to rekindle his relationship with his son. And how this all wraps up really sends the wrong message, I feel like. And this is kind of a warped film that I don't feel like really understands what it's trying to tell people. And there's something just messed up about it. But the tricky thing is there are elements, like the storytelling elements, that are interesting and bold and are a cool way of trying to present things. You have strong performances, because I definitely think Morosini gives a good performance. And Franklin has to show a variety of different kinds of faces that he puts on for different people. I think Sulewski does a fine job. And then you have people like Amy Landecker, Lowell Hallery, Rachel Dratch, who come in here and give some really strong supporting turns and add some layers. There are funny moments. There are very emotional moments that have an impact. But I feel like it's all undercut by some very misguided narrative decisions that just zaps all of the enjoyment out of this film and puts you in a very weird place. And I feel like this film is very misguided and unfortunately wastes some decent amount of potential here that is right there, right in front of you, but you can't help but think about everything else that shouldn't have been there. But those are my thoughts on I Love My Dad. Let me know what you think and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.